So good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss the magnetic behavior of the transition metal complex under the CFT crystal field theory. So this is the last video lecture of CFT. As you know, this portion includes the magnetic properties, stability of the complex and thermodynamic aspect of lattice energy, hydrations of enthalpy, etc. and limitation of CFT. So now the diamagnetic substance. Any substance that is repelled by external magnetic field is called diamagnetic substance. Already I have told several times during the discussion of inner and outer orbital complex, even molecular orbital diagram. It has no unpaired electron. Paramagnetic substance, any substance that is attracted by external magnetic field is called paramagnetic substance. So it has an unpaired electrons. Magnetic properties of the transition metal complex. For metal ions, most of the transition metal shows paramagnetism due to presence of unpaired electrons such as scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. But zinc 2 plus, cadmium 2 plus, Ag2 plus shows diamagnetism. Greater the number of unpaired electrons, higher will be paramagnetism. Consequently, higher will be the magnetic moment. Now come to the point, very important topic that has been included in your syllabus. Also many questions will come in the final exam. Spin only magnetic moment, which is denoted by mu s with subscript s. For metal complex, orbital contribution is usually coincident due to non-spherical environment or when complex involves first four transition element, that is scandium to zinc. The orbital contribution is generally ignored. Listen carefully. For metal complex, orbital contribution is generally coincident due to non-spherical environment or when complex involves first row transition element. The orbital contribution is generally ignored. That is L0. So magnetic moment is given by spin only formula. So we can write mu s equals to root 4s s into s plus 1. So under root 4s within first bracket s plus 1, or very conveniently it is used mu s equals to root n into n plus 2 bm Bohr magneton, where s spin quantum number, mu s spin only magnetic moment and bm Bohr magneton. So this is the spin only magnetic moment, very important. So here orbital contribution has been ignored. Only we consider spin only formula. That is, then mu s will be root 4s into s plus 1 or root n into n plus 2. So we can use always root n into n plus 2 bm. Okay, n is number of unpaired electrons, s is spin quantum number, mu is spin only magnetic moment, and bm Bohr magneton, it is the unit. Okay, now come to the questions. As I told you, find out the spin only magnetic moment mu s of the following complex: FeCN whole 6 4 negative and FeH2 whole 6 2 plus. Okay, so both the iron complex have plus 2 oxidation state. Okay, but ligand is metal same, oxidation state also same. Only the difference is ligand. Here Cn and here water. So Cn is strong field ligand than water. So here splitting energy will be high. So splitting energy will be high in this case of FeCN whole 6. FeCN whole 6 splitting energy high due to strong field ligand. So that is low spin complex. All electrons gets pair up. Okay, so diamagnetic and mu s 0 because n number of unpaired electron 0. So mu s root n into n plus 2 0 magneton. So 0 Bohr magneton. Now come to Fe quarter whole 6 2 plus. Okay, so you have to find out, you are asked to find out mu s spin only magnetic moment. So you know, due to the weak field ligand nature of water, the splitting energy delta small, that is small CFEC, they are large CFEC. Due to small CFEC, this electron goes to Eg orbitals. Now as a result, it will give high spin complex because n equals to 4, number of unpaired equals to 4. So due to the presence of unpaired electron, It's so paramagnetism, it is paramagnetic. Now you have to find out the mu s value. What is the actual mu s? So mu s into n plus 2 half, that is root. Okay, as I did this structure in chem draw, so root is not permitted, allowed. So that's why I have to use the half. Instead of root, I have used half. Okay, root n into n plus 2, that is n into n plus 2 to the power half. Okay, so n is 4, so 4 into 4 plus half, that is 24 root 24 Vm, Bohr magnitude. So this iron hexa aqua 2 plus complex has magnetic moment, spin only magnetic moment 24 root Vm, but in case of EpCnO6 4 minus, this complex mu s is 0. So because why 0? Because it is a diamagnetic. Why diamagnetic? It is the strong field like in nature's larger CFEC. Splitting energy gap will be high, so there is no question of electron promotion from T2 to G orbitals due to large energy difference. So that's why electrons remains in the TG orbitals. So all electrons are pair up. Okay, basic systems. So that's why you get low spin complex, diamagnetic in nature, is also 0. So in this way, we can find out the spin only magnetic moment value for a given complex. Okay, next move on. Total magnetic moment. Okay, total magnetic moment or magnetic moment of spin angular momentum and orbital angular momentum mu s plus L. So this is not included as it is not mentioned in the syllabus. Syllabus already mentioned the magnetic behavior. That's why I have given you some brief idea. Okay, so total magnetic moment mu total or magnetic moment of spin angular momentum and orbital angular momentum, that is mu total nothing but a mu s plus L or L plus S. So for free metal ions, magnetic moment is given by contribution of spin angular momentum and orbital angular momentum. So for free metal ions, magnetic moment is given by contribution of spin angular momentum and orbital angular momentum, that is given by mu total equals to root 4s into s plus 1 plus L into L plus 1 Vm. Okay, or mu total equals to root over n into n plus 2 plus L into L plus 1 Vm. Okay, so that is the expression of total magnetic moment mu total. So mu total equals to root into a root under root whole root n into n plus 2 plus L into L plus 1. This is the whole under root Vm Bohr magneton, or under root 4s s into s plus 1 plus L into L plus 1 Bohr magneton. So this is the total magnetic moment. Okay. Next, magnetic moment for singlet degenerate A. This is the term symbol, or W degenerate energy level E. So mu total, this is also not included, I think, because it is not mentioned. Only syllabus has been changed 1 year. So that's why I gave you small idea about these three magnetic behavior of this. Okay. So now magnetic moment of single degenerate. So mu total equals to mu s 1 minus alpha lambda by delta. So 1 minus alpha lambda by delta. While lambda is spin orbit coupling constant, alpha is constant for each term, and delta is crystal field spreading energy. Okay. So mu total for singlet degenerate or doublet degenerate energy levels. For this energy level, magnetic moment mu total. Okay, keep in mind doublet degenerate energy level or singlet degenerate level. Mu total equals to mu s within first bracket 1 minus alpha lambda by capital lambda delta. So delta means Yes, splitting energy, lambda means spin orbit coupling constant, alpha means, this is the alpha means constant for each term. Okay, now number 7, this is also same thing for heavier element, magnetic moment for a block element. So magnetic moment for spin only, very important. So magnetic moment for orbital angular momentum, spin angular momentum, I have already discussed here. So magnetic moment for W degenerate energy level. Now come to magnetic moment of a block element like lanthanide, actinide, that is heavier atoms. So for lanthanide, actinide, magnetic moment will be mu total equals to G root J into J plus 1. G root, so under root J into J plus 1, where G is Landis splitting factor. So Landis splitting factor G, J equals to L plus S orbital more than half field equals to L minus S orbital less than half field. Either J equals to L plus when L plus S orbital more than half field, J equals to L minus S when orbital less than half field. So this is the value of J. J equals to L plus, then orbital more than half field. J equals to L minus S, then orbital less than half field. So final form of the magnetic moment. So G equals to 3 by 2 plus H into S plus 1 minus L into L plus 1 by 2J into J plus 1, or G equals to 1 plus J into J plus 1 plus H into S plus 1 minus L into L plus 1 by 2J into J plus 1. Okay, I have already mentioned all the terms here. So this is the magnetic moment of the particular corresponding a block element for W degenerate energy level, for angular momentum, orbital angular momentum, spin oblique value. Okay, now come to the question. For the following complexes, the increasing order of magnetic moment spin only value A TIF63 minus B CRF63 minus C MNF63 minus D CF63 minus. Okay, so given answer option given 1, D less than A, less than B, less than C, 2 less than C, less than A, sorry 2, C less than A, less than D, less than B, 3 B approximately equals to A, less than D, less than C, 4 A less than B, less than C, approximately D. What will happen? Titanium, okay, 3 plus, no problem, D1 system, Eg and T2G 1 electron, okay. So BUS N into N plus 2 root, I am using chem drop structure, that's why using of chem drop, so root is not allowed, that's why I am using plus half. So 1 into 1 plus half, that is 1.73 Bohr magneton. In case of chromium, it is also plus 3, but D3 system 1, 2, 3. Okay, ligands are same, equal ligands. So 3, so N into N plus 3, N equals to 3, that is root 15 Bm. Okay, come to M3N plus D4 system 1, 2, 3, 4. That due to the presence of weak field ligand, so there is no pairing. So electron jump from T2 to Eg orbitals. So D4 system, number of unpaired electron is 4. So here N into N plus 2 to the power half, that is 24 Bm. Okay, and here mu s in case of cobalt 3 D6 system 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because equal ligand there will be no pairing, so this is the 6. So number of unpaired electron is 4. So here also we get root 24 Bm Bohr magneton. So all the given complex metal are in plus 3 oxidation state and all the ligands are same. So answer will be option 4. A less than B, A less than B, okay, then C almost equals to D. C means C, which one? C is MnF6, okay, and D is cobalt F6. Why Mn has higher, sorry, why is D cobalt, sorry, cobalt is higher, D if you see D is higher than C. Why? From left to right, what is splitting energy increases, okay, size decreases, splitting energy decreases, okay. So that's why the here cobalt has little bit higher value, okay, than say C manganese, okay. So that's why covered here covered হচ্ছে +3 oxidation state or the oxidation manganese electrolyte size decreases leaving increase effective nuclear charge. Okay, so here the magnetic moment value will be spinoli magnetic moment value will be D, then 24, then greater than manganese, then greater than DNA. Okay. Next move on. Distortion of octahedral complex. Another applications. Distortion of octahedral complex, that is John Taylor distortion. That is John Taylor distortion of octahedral complex. If any octahedral complex is not stable, then it is further split into different sets, that is known as John Taylor distortion, JTD. When in octahedral geometry either T2g or EG orbital are unsymmetrically filled, then they experience different repulsions. So octahedral is no more perfect. When T2g is unsymmetrical filled, then which distortion is observed? When EG is unsymmetrically filled, then strong distortion is observed. Again I tell you what will happen. Distortion of octahedral complex. If any octahedral complex is not stable, then it is further split into different sets, that is known as John Taylor distortion. When an octahedral geometry either T2g or EG orbital are unsymmetrically filled, then they experience different repulsions. So octahedral is no more perfect. When T2g is unsymmetrical filled, then weak distortion is observed, and when EG is unsymmetrically filled, then strong distortion is observed. Okay, strong distortion is observed. So come here. Here Z in distortion, Z out distortion. So before discussing this T2g orbital, EG orbital. So Z out distortion, Z in distortions. So what is Z out and GT distortions, that will be discussed here. So this is the regular octahedral structure of metal having 6 ligands. Okay, X, Y, Z plane. Okay, regular octahedral structure, bond length of ligand is same from metal. Okay, so metal electron density for every axis is symmetrical. For every axis is symmetrical. This is a regular structure of octahedral. Okay. Now elongations, Z out tetragonal, Z out tetragonal elongation, Z out elongations. Z in means compressions. What will happen? Electron density along Z axis, this one along Z axis, electron density along Z axis is high. If electron density is high, then what will happen? Bond length increase as repulsion is high. Okay, as repulsion is high. So Z out, here is Z out. Z out means electron density along the Z axis is high. So there is an interaction will be high. Bond length increases. They are far away from the metal. So that's why they are increasing. Their energy has been increased due to the high interactions. So that's why. Again I tell you, in Z out tetragonal elongations, what will happen? Electron density along Z axis is high. That is bond length is increased as repulsion is high. So their bond length increases. So what will happen? They far away from the metals, as I told you. Now which orbital comes to the ligand? XY. So that's why XY interact with metal more. That's why their energy is higher, because Z orbitals far away from the metals due to the high electron density, and coming closer to the XY orbitals related dx square minus y square and dxy, which are very close to the metals, their energy increases. You see, in case of Z out, dx square minus y square energy increases, dz square energy decreases. In T2g set, dxy energy increases and dxz dyz energy decreases. Again I tell you, in Z out, electron density along Z axis increases. So what will happen? The repulsion is high, so that's why they are far away from the metals. Then XY orbital come closer to the ligands, metals. They feel more repulsion, their energy. They feel more interactions, their energy will be high. That's why dx square minus y square from EG orbital energy high, from T2g orbital dx y energy is high. Now come to Z in compression. that is elongation, here compression. Electron density in plane xy axis is high, x and y axis is high, x and y axis is high, and bond length is increased. That means what will happen? So these xy orbital related, these orbitals xy, okay, dxy and dx minus y square orbitals far away from the metals, and dz square orbitals, dz square and dxz dyz orbitals come closer to the metals, and their energy has been increased. You see, dz square energy increases due to z-ins, because here electron density along the plane xy is high, so z square is high energy from Eg orbitals. Similarly, T2g orbitals, dxz dyz energy is high compared to dxy, so that is called compression, z distortion, z out distortions. Okay, I think you are understood completely. Okay, again I tell you, this is the very important John-Taylor distortions. Here the regular structure of the metal atom with 6 ligands. Here Z out, due to the high charge density, the Z orbitals are far away from the metals, and then the interaction will be xy, so that's why x energy increases. But in case of here, due to electron density along xy plane increases, that's why they are far away from the metals, so that is Z orbitals come closer, or interaction feel more few interactions, that their energy has been increased in Z down, dz square above, then dx square minus y square. In T2g orbital, dxz dyz come above and below dxy. So this is the John-Taylor distortion. Note, if electron density is high along z-axis, dz square orbital is far away and dx square y square interact more and its energy is high. Similarly, dxyz dxz for z out, for z in, electron density is between or plane is high, repulsion is high, so dx square y square is far away and dz square orbital interact more and its energy is high. Similarly for dyz dxz dyz, so this is the far away, so okay, so next move on. Stability arises through the stability of the complex. Okay, so stability of the complex. Next, I have already discussed the distortion of the total complex. Now stability of the complex arises due to the oxidation state. So first here cobalt 2 is more stable in water than ammonia. Cobalt 2 6 water, cobalt water 6 2 plus, okay, CFC 8 dq, cobalt 2 plus 6 ammonia, okay, CFC 4 dq, cobalt 3 plus 6 water, CFC 18 dq, cobalt 3 plus 6 ammonia, here CFC 24 dq. So stability of the complex arises due to the oxidation state. Cobalt 2 plus, here cobalt 8, here 4. So in cobalt 3 plus, here 18, cobalt 3 plus ammonia 24. Okay. Here stability arises through chelations, here delta N, here number of rings, nickel hexammonia 2 plus, okay, this is assigned as a complex 1 plus En, we get NiNH3 whole 4, En 2 plus, it is assigned as a complex 2 plus 2NH3, del N equals to 1, number of ring 1, again NiNH3 whole 6 2 plus, again react with twice ethylene diamine, we get NiNH3 whole 2, En2 2 plus, it is assigned as a complex 3, 4NH3, here del N2, number of ring 2, again NiNH3 whole 6 2 plus, again react with 3 ethylene diamine, we get NiNH3 only, En whole thrice twice plus, okay, and it is assigned as a 4 6 ammonia 3 3, again NiNH3 whole 6 2 plus, ETTA4 negative, we get NiETTA2 minus, that is it is assigned as a 5, complex number 5, 6 ammonia, del N equals to 5, number of ring 5. So del S proportional to del N, entropy, change of entropy proportional to del N, proportional to number of ring chelation. Again del S increases, del G increases, minus del G. Stability increases, as you know, del G equals to del H minus T del S. If del S increases, then del G should be negative. Okay. So stability order with respect to chelation 5 greater than 4, 5 greater than 4, greater than 3, greater than 2, greater than 1. So similar stability order will be for given complexes. Nickel DMG2 4 rings greater than nickel ethylene diamine 2 plus twice ring, nickel NH3 whole 6 2 plus greater than nickel H2O whole 6 2 plus. Here nickel NH3 whole 6 greater than nickel H2 whole 6 2 plus because strong field ligand nature, NH3 greater than water ligand strength. Okay, now thermodynamic aspect of the CFC. So lattice energy, enthalpy of hydrations. Now lattice energy is the energy released when ions comes together from infinite separation to form a crystals and can be estimated with reasonable accuracy using bond length equation in chemical bond. The measured and calculated value for the main group element which have no CFC are in close agreement. In contrast, many transition metal compounds have higher measured lattice energy than the calculated value. A plot of the lattice energy of the halides of the first two transition element in the divalent state is given in figure in the next slide. The ions calcium 2 plus, manganese 2 plus, zinc 2 plus lie on the straight line. Again I tell you, thermodynamic aspect. This is the last applications of CFT, thermodynamic aspect of CFC, lattice energy, enthalpy of hydration, also is final, it is not included. So lattice energy is the energy released when ions come together from infinite separation to form a crystal and can be estimated with reasonable accuracy using the bond length equation. The measured and calculated value for the main group elements which have no CFC are in close agreement. In contrast, the many transition metal compounds have higher measured lattice energy than the calculated value. A plot of the lattice energy of the halides of the first row transition element in the divalent state is given in figure below. The ions below means in the next slide. The ions calcium 2 plus, manganese 2 plus and zinc 2 plus lie on the straight line. So this is the applications of CFT. I have discussed stability of the complex, distortion of total complex, John-Taylor distortion, thermodynamic aspect of the CFC. In the next slide we will discuss its graph. Okay. So what is the graph nature? You see the number of d electrons with the lattice energy. Okay. So this is the straight line. This is the d5 and d10 system, 0 0 CFC value. So d1, d2, d3, d1, d2, d3, d4, d5, d6, d7, d8, d9, d10. Okay. d1 system, d2, d3, d4, d5, d6, d7, d8, d9, d10. So these do not possess any CFC Mn2 plus, Zn2 plus or d5 because and d10 system, d5, Mn2 plus and Zn2 plus, d10 system. The deviations from the straight line occurs for situation CFC contributions are present. That means there is some crystal field stabilization contribution is there. The heights of the other points have the broken line correspond to the CFC. This is the CFC value. Okay. In addition to the lattice energy, the enthalpy of hydration for divalent and trivalent transition metal ions and the ionic radii of the divalent transition metal ions exhibit similar double hump curve illustrating the effect of CFC. Okay. So this is do not possess any CFC Mn2 plus and Zn2 plus or d5 and d10 electron system. The deviation from the straight line occur for situation where CFC contributions are present. The height of the other points have the broken line corresponding CFC. Okay, this is the CFC value. In addition to the lattice energy, the enthalpy of hydrations, okay, enthalpy for divalent and trivalent transition metal ions and the ionic radii of divalent transition metal ions exhibit similar double hump curves illustrating the effect of CFEC. So I have discussed all the applications: color of the complex, transition, charge transfer, stability of the complex, distortion of total complex, next step, thermodynamic aspect, and also magnetic properties of behavior of spin only magnetic moment, orbital angular momentum, and also magnetic moment for a block, lanthan and aconite. So there are and so many problem question answer. Okay, now the last point: what are the limitations or drawbacks which cannot explain the CFT? Look, according to CFT, crystal field splitting by anionic ligand greater than neutral ligand. Okay, according to CFT, crystal field splitting by anionic ligand greater than neutral ligand, but there are many ligand that doesn't follow the same. OH minus less than water, CN minus less than NO plus. Okay. Similarly, according to CFT, for MnO4 minus and CF272 minus complex, there is no d electron, but they should not have color, but it shows color due to charge transfer. That is LMCT. Already we have discussed charge transfer complex. LMCT, MLCT, MMCT, LNCT. I have discussed 4 types of charge transfer complex. So MnO4 minus, CF272 minus, there is no d electrons, but they shows color pink color. Okay, so that's why MnO4 minus KMnO4. So that's why there is a charge transfer which is not explained by the CFT. It only explains the electrostatic force. It only explains the electrostatic force, but it doesn't explain the evidence of the covalent bond. It does not explain the evidence of covalent bond. It fails to predict the relative strength of various ligand accurately. So it fails to predict the relative strength of various ligand accurately. Okay. It considers only d orbitals of metals and doesn't consider other metal orbitals such as p means px, py, pz each, and pi orbitals. It considers only d orbital of the metals and doesn't consider other metal orbitals such as s, p, px, py, pz, three degenerate orbital each, and pi orbitals. It doesn't explain the effect of pi bond in CFT. So these are the limitations of crystal field spreading energy. So I have again repeat that according to CFT, crystal field spreading by anionic ligand greater than neutral ligand. But there are many ligands that doesn't follow the same. OH minus less than water, Cl minus less than NO plus. According to CFT, for MnO4 minus and CF272 minus complexes, there is no d electrons. Okay. And because in the plus 7 state, they should not have color, but it shows color due to the charge transfer. Okay, which is not explained by the CFT. It only explains the electrostatic force, but it doesn't explain the evidence of covalent bond. It fails to predict the relative strength of various ligand accurately. It fails to predict the relative strength of various ligand accurately. It considers only d orbital of the metal, doesn't consider other metals orbitals such as s, p means px, py, pz, as it is degenerate orbitals each, and pi orbitals. It does not explain the effect of pi bond in CFT. So crystal field spreading I have discussed in this video lecture limitations and the octahedral distortion of octahedral field, John Taylor distortions, and also thermodynamic aspect of lattice energy, radiation of enthalpy with CFC correlations, and also limitation of CFT. So we should follow the video lectures that I have solve so many problems and question and answer. Okay, so I hope you are enjoying this video. I have finished the CFT. Thanks for watching this video.